Hello audience, my name is Isaac Gutierrez and once again, we at Bardic Logs welcome you to a Quna backstory. Joining me as always is Humberto as Quna Zyn.
Hello, everybody.
And backing him up today is a newcomer to our group, Samantha as Zenosha.
Hello.
And together we're bringing you Betrayal Cuts Deep, Episode 1. Hello guys, and as we get started with today's session, we're actually going to be going ahead in time. Quna, you and Lavender have been traveling for roughly 6 months now. And while you guys were traveling, you guys defeated like corrupt officials, defended caravans, innocent people, made a lot of money. You guys even fought off goblin hordes, and a necromancer at one point. And as you just felt like free and like you found what you're supposed to do, suddenly it stopped. One day you woke up and Lavender isn't there anymore, and where he was is just a note. The note reads, Quna, I'm so very sorry to have to leave suddenly and without telling you, but I hope leaving this note helps. My father had an accident and I had to be there now, and I moved much quicker without you. I'm sorry, Mitchell, but please do not wait on me to go on another adventure. I'll be right back out in the field soon. Love, Lavender stole him. And with all that being said, Quna, how do you feel?
David Lavender. I trust you can do this. I folded up and I put it like in my vest, like the little vest pocket close to my heart.
Right, right, because Lavender's close to your heart. You miss him already, Quna. So, as we discussed out of session, Quna Bear, you were signed on for a certain amount of missions at your Merc Guild, and it's been a bit. And they've been sending you letters, being like, hey, you gotta come back, finish off your last mission, come on. Deborah's been on your ass.
Fine. I guess I had to do this final This is basically his head, obviously. He's just thinking to himself, like, okay, let me get this final contract out of the way. I can finally go adventuring. I can finally be what I want. Lavender kind of promised to kind of help him be in that situation where he can do all this, and he has a taste of all this adventure due to Lavender. He's very excited to finally get out of the merking business. So yeah, he's packing up, getting pretty much ready to kind of go, getting his usual. His hand axes right tucked to the side of him, kind of like mainly in the way where he just stabs it into the to the holder. Javelins get piled up into his back. My glaive also gets spun around and tapped into the back too as well. Got my little pack. I always carry my little fanny pack in a way. It's not a fanny pack,
It's a dad pack.
It's better than that, but it's yeah, it's
No, it's okay, Quna. It's your dad pack.
yeah. So it's basically, he's basically dressing up, getting ready for his adventure.
Yes, and as you grab your gear together, pick up your camping sites, and hop on your horse and start going back up. You start going up the shoreline, the coast, all the way to Helfner's Rise, the capital of this continent. And as you're going, you see all different kinds of sights, from the different fish species to giant boats going by. Even once a metal dwarvenish looking boat, and hell, even at one point a giant serpent plunged forth from the water, soaring through the sky, and landed, leaving a massive fucking splash. And it just, all this time passes, about maybe a good few weeks, as you rise up the coast to Helfner's Rise.
I love to imagine it's like one of those, like that movie scene where like he's walking around and you see like the states pass by and like different monuments he's seeing, and he's just looking left and right, like in the movies where it's very dramatic. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So you travel and you hitch rides with caravan after caravan, after trading for protection, for travel. You see the grand, ginormous walls that beckon Helfner's Rise. And as you enter the city, you go up to the front gates, show the guards, like, yeah, I'm a merc here, come on, let me in. As you enter, you start feeling the familiar smells come back. The old places you used to go to on breaks, the places you used to walk for fun with your old soldier buddy, Artis.
Hmm.
You feel like you've been here before. You start to reminisce about the times a young soldier was going to find some work. And it makes you think, man, it's been a long time since I've been here.
It's been a long time since I've been here.
Shut up. You see, once again, a very familiar sign, half hanging off its hinges. A particularly unkept eyesore compared to the rest of the very neat city. Mickey's Mighty Mercenaries, your old Merc Guild. And as you walk back up, your big meaty hands on the handle. And what are you thinking right before you enter?
I was hoping you ask. I so in his mind, this is what he's saying. I just have to give this one last thing. Hopefully, Lavender's okay. I'll wait to hear back from him before I do anything else. But let me just get this last one in. Hopefully, this one will be an easy one. And you help one person, you help them all with these rich, posh people that want to be transferred to places. I can't wait to venture out there. I've seen so much just going back and forth. Let me just get this over with. And I just kind of just take both my hands. I'm guessing it's like one of those rip open doors with both hands, or is it kind of just one door that opens up?
It's one door.
Yeah, so I slowly put my hand on the doorknob. I take one deep Quna breath, which is like a gust.
yeah.
I
As you breathe it, it like fucking almost shakes the fucking sign.
And then, you know, I slowly walk in and just make my presence known. I'm guessing there's kind of a counter to kind of walk into. Like, what's the first thing I see? I'm very familiar with it, I'm guessing, but...
Right. So what you see first in front of you is a very large desk, and behind it is an older, but not too old, like maybe middle-aged orc woman who you would know as Deborah. Deborah, the front desk woman. You know, even though she wears like leather armor and has a sword upon her side, she only mostly deals with like clipboards, books, and quills and such. And to your right, you see through the hallway, in like a doorway, is like a lounge room while people wait for Mickey. And in fact, you even see a very familiar face, an old friend by the name of Artis, standing there with his scythe kind of hanging off his shoulders with a little bit of straw in his mouth. You know him to be the old ex-farmer. Still has that kind of theme about him even now. But your attention is quickly and swiftly brought back to Deborah. She kind of clicks her fingers on the desk. Hey. Quna, come on, look at me. What, you've been gone for a year. Did you not get any of my letters, huh? No, did they just not get you? Where have you been? Where are you living?
You can say I've been seeing the world. And you can take that as you will. I'm about 2 weeks in on my 2 weeks notice. If that makes sense. I am pretty much done with the Merc. I am going to venture out, and this is my last job. It was good seeing you. I'm actually pretty happy to see you guys for my last job here, and even you. What's the receptionist's name again? Deborah?
Deborah.
Even you, Deborah. Been a while, I know.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had your cakes in a while.
Oh
but,
yeah. Yeah, right.
Hey,
my cakes. Like you really care.
I've been moving around a lot. It's been a really hectic few years here.
I'm sure, but you know you had to fill out the form to remember that you gotta fill out the form of where you've been living the past few addresses. So come on, here you go. she hands you a form, and like you can fill this out while you're sitting down with catching up with everyone else. All right, go ahead. But remember, fill it out and bring it back to me, okay?
I put it. I wish I had like RPA glasses, like little tiny itty bitty little spectacles. Yeah, I kind of like start writing out. So, what have you been up to?
And as you walk over, Cynic's artist and ask him, "Hey, how you doing?" He looks up and goes, "Quna, holy crap! It's been a while, man. I don't know where you've been for the last like year-ish, but I've been out serving with the guild, doing contracts, getting stronger. My scythe is actually like silvered and affects monsters now, and I've defeated a small dragon once. It was epic, man. I'll tell you all about it sometime."
Man, wow, you've come a long way since the kobolds we fought a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like, what's been up with you? Come on. Well, it's been a long time, you kind of just left on us. Hell, it was a long time since that incident, that I was cowering while you helped me, that you just never let that go of. But yes, where did you go, man? You just left, though. Like, let's not, like, beat around the bush. Why'd you go? Where have you been?
You have to understand my heritage. We're stuck on a mountain. We only see one thing, and I feel the same way being a merc. I I guard a pompous rich man, and I can't really explore with my own will and whim. It's a contract. And I love my contracts, but I'm sick of just being what they want me to do. I want my own choices in life. I've been in an adventure where I can actually do that.
In that case, then, Kuna, who do you want to be?
To be honest, I don't know. But slowly and surely, I met a good man named Lavender, and I'm thinking I soon will find out what I really want to do. I probably will after this last one. Who knows? I've been just thinking about just getting this over with, and I love being a merc. I love protecting people. You know this. You work with me.
Yeah, man. I know, dude. I know, man. Okay, just like try to keep in contact. All right, don't just leave without a trace again. Hey, come on, man. Not cool. I thought like we were supposed to be friends.
And I'll still keep in contact the best I can. And yes, I'm bad at it. Yes, Deborah, I know I'm bad at it. I'm getting better, I promise you. Lavender's kind of taught me how to kind of stay in touch with people. So there's not as good as been happening since I've been gone.
I like to imagine that at that one point where it was you and Lavender were like communicating via letters, that there were certain points where you just didn't respond, and then you would just see like another letter, a weak letter, and it would just say nothing but respond, Lavender. And just like, God damn it, Quna, respond, you motherfucker.
And just me getting sick of it, like piling up. I'm running out of room for these fucking letters.
Yes, Quna, and I'm running out of patience. I need you to respond, goddammit. As and as you're seeing, they're talking to artists and reminiscing about Lavender, Quna, and filling out your previous locations to the guild and whereabouts and such. Sam, are seen in an office. In front of you is a very tall Irish man with long ginger hair and a big nose, big frame, very bulky man in like a very fighter-esque outfit. What's she, lash? Or what brings you to my guild and wanting to become a mercenary and help people?
Well, I would say I like the idea of protecting innocence, and helping others who can't help themselves. I will never let someone who can't protect themselves go unarmed. That makes sense. I will not let them.
Yeah, you give knives to kids.
Yes, I will give them daggers. Zenosha, not again.
What is he holding? A knife! No! Alright, then, alright, lass. And then besides that, what did you get your druid training done? So I can know for verification-wise.
Usually, I would say I picked up my druid training from a traveling troop. Not like a troop, like a caravan. And I picked up how to become a druid, or like the ways of druidry. From then.
Ah, yes, very, very specific. Let's see, and then, well, actually, Sam, if you're like, as Zenosha, if you're in an interview, as an interviewer, what would I see?
You'd see a somewhat taller half-orc, bluish-gray skin who's wearing like a simple mint-colored dress with leather armor over it. I am carrying a scimitar strapped to my waist, and I am always sporting a scarf. That makes sense. That's my arm.
Do you have a familiar as a druid?
No, I do not. I used to a long time ago, but I ended up in a scrap and I lost them.
Oh, and what was the animal? Like, what kind of species?
It was actually a simple cardinal. Just a simple cardinal.
Oh, a cardinal. What was his name?
I would say Betsy. Betsy was my name.
Oh, Betsy. Thank you for the future trauma.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, thank you.
Feel to the DM. Like, yes. Dead cardinal, you say?
You see her ghost rise above you. Alright, Zenosha. And then, he kind of flips through, like, the little pages in your, in your, resume, as you might call it. It looks very familiar to a character sheet. He speaks up. Alright, Zenosha. What kind of skills would you say you bring to the table, like, for a team member?
Well, I'm pretty skilled with magic and pretty in tune with nature. I'm pretty quick on my feet. And I would say I am pretty flexible in all aspects. Not all aspects, but in the arcane.
Oh, the arcane, huh? Let's see. No, let me, give me a second. He turns around and starts going through this little, desk drawer and going through all these folders. And you see his big, bulky size and frame keeps, like, bumping into different drawers and even his desk every now and then. Oh, my shoulder, ouchie. And he eventually pulls out this little file and starts reading off to you. Oh, well, let's see. Let's see if you're comfortable with this before I give it to you. The contract is this. It's two parts. First, we'll be breaking into a dark sorcerer's house. Well, not his house specifically, but his allies. Their mansion. We'll make it look like an accident, and therefore, like a burglary. And we're trying to get info about his routes and his routes, so we can ambush him. And then, immediately, part two is going to the ambush site, using the information given, and setting up the ambush, therefore. Does that sound like something you're comfortable with?
I would be very comfortable with this. It sounds like a challenge.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. In that case, please follow me and we'll start getting a crew together. You came in just in time to be able to hop in at the last minute. Ooh, come on. You'll be a greenhorn though, so we'll be happy to hook you up with an old timer to hopefully get you going. As he gets up, you see he starts bumping into everything, and even as he kind of goes sideways, he starts scooching behind you, and you just get a big whiff of like a hairy Mickeyness. And he opens the door, and as he opens, he gestures, "Oh, please, lady fresh."
She carefully gets up and looks around, almost as if she's looking for something, but slowly follows him through the door.
He doesn't really pay much mind to you taking a moment. He seems kind of distracted by his thoughts right now, but as he steps out, he goes, "Oh, yes, and you, I think you'll love the team. They're all very eccentric." He stops, looks right at the big Goliath man next to a human, filling out his clipboard. "Quna Zyn."
Hey, Mickey.
"You motherfucker, where have you been? You just son of a bitch. You just left on me a year ago. Where the fuck have you been?"
Hey, I get it. I did get the letters. I understand. I'm here now. This is going to be my last job. And
"Oh, you're right, Deborah. He even got the letters. Oh, come on, Quna. What girl really made you run away from work like that? Come on."
there's more of a deeper reason to that, and hopefully we can talk about it a little bit more. But till then,
Hi, can roll me a beer then, and we'll have a talk.
I can make one for you that's going to be extremely tasty and alcoholic. I promise
Oh, I always like your beer, Quna. It knocks me on my ass.
you.
Oh yeah, but it's better than a dwarf piss for sure.
Hey, not to knock dwarf drinks. Don't knock me on my ass myself.
Oh yeah, not to knock the dwarf. I'm just saying yours is better. It really knocks me on my ass. Oh,
Oh, who's the greenie here?
yeah, she's Zenosha. She's a greenhorn. She's a rookie. She'll be joining you for this mission.
Ah, nice to meet you. So you see a 7'5", 500-pound muscular man reach out for a handshake?
He's hesitant about reaching for the hand, but takes it anyways. She seems a little antsy. Nice to meet you.
First time adventuring, huh?
First time. Something seems off about her answer, but she doesn't further elaborate.
He doesn't look. The good thing is he doesn't look into it too much. He pats his shoulder. Well, let's make this last one of mine a really good one.
Very well.
Zenosha, Mickey like pats Quna on the chest, like the peck, and Quna, you're like, as the hand hits your peck, and you're, "Don't worry, this is my favorite shield right here. He's a walking shield, a walking wall. He'll protect you, Zenosha, even if you are a little green and scared."
I hear Lavender's voice in my head. Meat shield, meat shield. He cried. he kind of grabs his like chest a little bit. Oh. Yeah. Yes.
Right, as you miss Lavender. Oh, Quna, no. Ah, yes, Kuna's going through a breakup. The breakup emotions. His boyfriend broke up with him.
The bond is so strong in the family and everything. Like I think it's more so he's worried about like the whole situation. Like it seems like it's very like Lavender, my love. No, it's more so Lavender's in a very terrible situation by himself, and he hope he can figure it out, kind of thing. So he's just kind of like really worried, but he's focused knowing that Lavender can handle himself.
And as you, right. I was just kind of kidding, but, as you guys are standing there, Mickey speaks up. Okay, well, come on, you two. We gotta get into the room.
I'm on my way.
Don't lag behind you two. Come on. He's already, like, at the door waiting. You see several people have already started kind of filled into the room, and...
She quickly follows behind him, just silent. She keeps on sparing a glance towards Quna.
As you enter the conference room, and a very long wooden desk, a dark oak desk, and you see on the other side is a white marble wall, and above the desk, well, not the desk, the table, is a hooded lantern that appears to have the light of it kind of concentrated into one point, pointing out, with a little slit that lets these little glass, like almost like little glass sculptures go in and out of it, and projects that out onto the white part. And as you admire the room itself, you also notice some familiar faces, Quna. You recognize Albert, your old kind of rival, someone who used to always kind of pick fights with you and try to outwit you, and really kind of always picked on you because he was always faster and often would able to even beat you at times.
I kind of break down to her like everything that I'm, you know, when I'm seeing them, kind of making sure she gets the way of the land a little bit. So everything you're saying to me, I kind of like relay in a whisper to her, so she kind of like feels a little comfortable knowing, like, you know, these are kind of like these kind of people. You know, here's a cool nickname you need.
Right. And then you also see, a man, a very tall, lanky guy in a top hat, with a very nice bow tie and a old, like a villain mustache, is the healer Henry, and you kind of know that you remember that, you know, he doesn't really heal unless you pay, and if you're not paying, he ain't healing. Then you see someone who isn't as familiar to you. You see two people actually. A wood elf with a sniper upon her back, a sniper rifle upon her back. It's vaguely familiar to you about the gnomish technology with rifles and guns and all that. But the actual act that, like, something that advanced is very foreign and kind of mystifying to you. And then you see a woman who appears to be almost dead. She has a very pale skin and all white hair. She sits there very quiet, almost as if her body itself doesn't make noise. Then, sitting along next to you as well is Artis, your old buddy. As he sits there with his side kind of to his side, he reaches over Quna and goes, "Hi, my name's Artis. How are you?" As he goes to kind of shake Zenosha's hand.
You too. She reaches over. Upon closer inspection, there's burns on her hands.
Oh, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. She's pretty curt about it, and just retracts her hand.
Well, if you ever need to talk, you can let me know. If you ever need help, I got you. All right. He shoots finger guns at you.
Very well. I'll be fine.
And Quna, while this is happening, he is like over your lap now. Like he sat on the left side while she was like on your right side. So just like over your lap. He's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm Artis."
Yeah, I just basically, okay, so I stared down, like my hands are crossed basically, and I stared down. I didn't see the burns. I stayed quiet. I'm kind of just watching it. Like, he knows this. Like, there's a bubble. Like, he likes them. He understands. Like, everyone knows who he doesn't like. He's very like blunt about it, but just there's a bubble there.
Right. Yeah, there's a bubble. He's like, "Oh, sorry. My bad." And then as you look, Artis past him is a very tall, but not too tall, very well built, lean, elven woman. She has kind of a studded leather armor, but it's a little worn. She has dual wielding swords and a long bow upon her back. She has like bandana kind of half pulled over her face, and you don't recognize her either. Oh yes, and I forgot to mention, it's my bad, is that during this mission, and you would know this, Quna, and you would also be aware of this, Zenosha, is that you guys use code names. So like Albert, you would know Quna goes by the Enforcer, Henry goes by Priest. Mickey even brings up, yes, Quna, these are Banshee. He points to the woman who looks dead. Robin Hood, he points to the person with the rifle upon his back. Artist, you would know as the handler, because of the ex-farming stuff. And he points to the elf, who you also don't know. He goes, "Oh, there's Spanish right there." And then you see maybe one or two other people about, but they appear to be more lesser, like soldiers and such. People who maybe don't stand as much importance, or just taking notes. And Mickey, even after a bit, gestures. They seem to go around the room, possibly supply gators, etc.
By the way, my nickname's Sentinel.
I'll take the name Green Thumb.
Very fitting.
After a little bit of you guys kind of talking, and you guys get between you and artists, you even see the others are chit chatting, and people are just trying to figure out like, oh, I wonder what the mission is going to be, huh? Mickey speaks up. All right, so the mission is this. So you all know, now that we got introductions out of the way, there's a simple house party of some wealthy vampire cultists who are friends of the Dark Sorcerer, who is, as you would know, is the enemy of the guild. And he's given them charge of protecting and hiding some documents, maps, plans, etc. Even routes that he goes into. I also have other scouts and such getting information, but the information all hinges on the info we find in here. So, with this in mind, we need to get into the basement, which is under lock and key with a monster guardian. Now that's what we know is a monster guardian, as we got it from one of the slaves there. Yes, they have slaves. Please do not let them free. We all have to focus on the mission. Now, Quna, that's where you come in. In fact, I'm very glad to have you back, because I needed some muscle. While everyone else is setting up the operation, they'll be acting as bandits, trying to make it look like a robbery. Let's see, Mantis, Handler, and Green Thumb here. They'll be joining you downstairs to give you assistance in smashing the monster and hopefully getting information.
What intel do we have on this beast?
Oh yes, he throws out several files onto the desk. Well, you see, we know that the monster's a bullet. And here, I'm literally just going to post the entire stat block to you guys. This is all there. He has the info, the general layouts of like, ratings of how strong they would be, etc. Again, almost like a character stat block for a monster 5e.
Oh, where'd you pull? Oh, that's the bullet.
Blah, 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 right? Alright, and he takes out one of the glass panes from the projector and puts in a new one. And so you see this bullet, like the image of the bullet, pierce up.
Well, F me with a pole. I'm gonna suplex it.
Well, this thing is not something you can just fight easily. So you're gonna need to strategize and maybe even distract it while you continue to get the information. Who knows? All we know, we don't want to cause too much trouble and have the vampires be aware of what the operation, if you should say. We would have got to make it quick before they catch on to the bandits are getting away, and they return to kill you.
He's gonna be very troublesome.
Indeed, it is going to be very troublesome. That's why they need you in there to go crack his skull open, alright? With that being said, everyone else, we've already, signed up to be bandits. He points to everyone else on the other side of the table, Quna. You see that it's Albert, Henry, everyone else. They're opening these little bags, and you see bandit outfits. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to change out of my outfits. And after a bit of bitching, Mickey's like, well, just shut the hell up and just get ready to put it on. We'll be setting up at dawn tomorrow. We have to ride out early amongst the morning mist, as barely get there by nightfall. Then we'll have to fight through the night, and then by early morning, we'll be doing the ambush. It's going to be a long 36 hours, and you're going to have very little sleep. We're going to have to keep going and going. So, please, I excuse you. Go out, enjoy your night, the few hours you have left, and get a good rest. I'll see you all tomorrow. And Zenosha, Quna, please don't fuck it up in there.
I won't disappoint.
And now that you guys are going to bed and that, what would you guys like to do? But before we just time skip to the next morning, and you guys are going on to the mission.
I'll let Zenosha go first.
I like to, if possible, wait, can I prepare spells?
Yes, you may prepare spells.
Mother Earth, I'd like to prepare Earth Tremor. How many can I prepare?
So after now 5 minutes of this teaching Sam how spells work, you sit there in your room, your hands clasped, you hold your amulets, and you say a prayer to Mother Earth in order to ask for the spells that may guide you on this journey. And as you say that prayer, you feel this like magic within your body distort and morph as the magic slots and spells available to you shift in your mind. And you can feel like the lock unlock and others lock.
So, Mother Earth, I'd like to prepare Charm Person, Earth Tremor, Fog Cloud, Healing Word, Hold Person, and Spike Growth.
And then your amethyst glows very gently. A little twinkle.
Thank you, Mother Earth. What do...
You're good to go to bed if you want to. I know that, I know we all like to be a little extra here, but you could always just go to bed until tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. I go to bed until tomorrow morning. I'm like, what?
All right, Quna. How would you what are you doing?
Before going to bed, Kuna's kind of leaning against the wall, like on the bed itself, and he's deep in thought, thinking about making sure, hopes Lavender's family's okay. So he's basically saying in his head the whole time, Lavender, you.
Yeah, you're like holding the letter. You're like thinking back on Lavender and thinking about all the times that he's been unconscious and like near death, and it like worries you. He's like keeping you awake at night.
Yep, and then basically I take the letter and I say, I can't dwell on this all day. I have to trust you can handle this, and I need to tuck it away for now. Till then, I move forward. And basically that's the last time I'm gonna...
A letter slips under your door, Quna.
Oh god. I stand up and make my long strides to it and pick it up.
As you lift it up, you see it's another letter with a seal that has a little feline going on it.
And then I basically start opening it and I read it.
The letter reads thus. Dear Quna, I hope this finds you properly to your mercenary guild. And if this is not Quna Zyn, please find out who Quna Zyn is and send this to him. He's supposed to be at Mickey's Mighty Mercenaries at Helfner's Rise. If this is not supposed to be here, please do not read. Fuck off. Send this to Quna. Hello, Quna. I assume this is you. My father is better. He had an accident during the raid on the caravan. It's another one much like the one I lost my mother in. It had me panicked, and I left. And as you know, but now everything's fine. He only lost his leg, thankfully. And I just had to go on an adventure. I'm sorry to go on one without you. I had to go on an adventure in order to get money to set him up. But everything is fine. I hear there's a mayor nearby named Stickbutt who's got a quest for me to handle. Some kobolds. Should be easy. And maybe I have other adventurous friends, huh? But don't worry, Quna. Everything's fine. And I hope everything's going well for you. I hope to see you soon. Love, Lavender Storm.
Okay, he's more confident and reassured now. He's not gonna be as worried as before, and there's not gonna be too much of a thought. He's kind of like, he went from like worried to like that very determined face, where it's just like, well then, this adventure will be my last, but I'm gonna make it worth it. A story that you will love, Lavender, and your daughter would too. And basically, I write my letter back and stuff like that to him, saying it's good to hear from you. Tell your family, Uncle Quna will be back soon. Hope to see you guys well and healthy. And I say and then ... meet Shield.
Did that make you feel better, Quna?
Yeah, the weight's off his shoulder. He feels a little more assured that it's nothing to worry about anymore, and he got it. So, yeah, he's going to sleep like an angel.
And as you go to bed, you think one last time of Lavender and all you're basically your new family. Makes you smile and excited to get going, and you fall asleep. And if you like that video and like to see more content, please drop a like and subscribe to Wolfer28, or give us a follow and a rating on both Spotify and iTunes as Bardic Logs. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next time.